What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of B is for Build. I'm Chris, starting another one off in the FJ. I'm on a supply run right now. In this episode, we're going to be focusing on a couple things. The small mechanical stuff we have left, the lower control arm, and figuring out the differential. I got to figure out if that differential is indeed locked like the dashboard says it is, or if we need to pull it out and weld it. And the other thing is it's time to start apocalypsing this vehicle. So we're gonna mix our rebuilding and restoring of that front quarter with starting the apocalypse styling of the car, our crazy apocalypse street cred. I'm not just driving a busted car down in California, that's no fun. So that's the plan for this episode. Stay tuned. Well, unfortunately, there was a windstorm today. There is a windstorm going on in Portland, and the whole city has lost its mind, and there's insane traffic absolutely everywhere. So I had to jump into it, or else I'm not going to be able to get to this steel yard before they close. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get materials for the build. We are already over budget, so I'm trying to not go over budget as far as possible because that affects my points on the resale scale. So I'm going to go do a salvage steel scrapyard type of place. I think we're gonna find some metal with good patina on it, and I'm hoping we're gonna get good prices, and hopefully they have some like actual unique stuff too. I'm half tempted to like go to a junkyard or a dump even to find other metal stuff, but I want to start by going to this place. This is a place Eric recommended, so yeah, we'll head down there now and see how it looks. All right, we made it. Let's take a look around. Basically, from what I've gathered, all of this stuff in this section over here is all used steel, 50 cents a pound. I just gather up whatever I want and throw it on the scale. So I'm gonna browse around and start picking stuff out.
Oh, you make me wanna talk back to you. Say it like that. If I hate you, then find someone new. But you know I never will. No.
That place was exactly what I was looking for. It's like apocalypse street cred car heaven. I forgot to bring gloves, so I'm gonna have to re-up on that tetanus shot, but we got it. 250 pounds of scrap metal loaded in the back here, 50 cents a pound, cost me $125. The way I'm gonna build this to myself though is anything that I don't use I'm not gonna bill myself for, so we will figure out the difference there and only take that much off the budget. I don't know why, but it's freezing in the shop. It's so cold in here. All right, so we don't have a lot of time to finish this build. That's the honest to goodness truth. There is 72 hours for fabrication and then a little bit of time for paint, and then literally have to turn around and get on the road. As I always do with these California trips. I don't know why I rush myself so much, but we're down to the wire. So you may see some new people in here, out of here, helping me out. You may not, I might be screwed. Who knows? But the one thing that I did know that I needed to do was get a defined game plan of what was going to be done on this car. So I have basically built out a very, very defined game plan of the minimum of what I want to do to modify this car to get the apocalypse look. And I want to show you that now. But before that, a word from our sponsors. This episode is sponsored by Tuner Crate. I'm really stoked on this sponsorship. Tuner Crate is a monthly subscription service where they deliver you automotive goodness every month. This month is the Dom Crate, and if you order it now, you will get this Dom Crate. Very cool crate. Comes with a shirt and a couple shirts and some other stuff in here. My favorite part is this Fast and Furious diecast replica of Brian's Eclipse. And because I actually have Brian's Supra at my house. Chelsea got that for me for my birthday, so this is cool, it matches. It's a little childish, but I do collect some of the cooler cars that I've seen in my life or that have impacted me in my life in die-cast form, and I actually like to do that. I hear that this and the Dom Pop Toy are both very limited edition and discontinued, so it's really cool that they got these things before they're all gone and they put them in the crates and sent them out. Very, very cool thing. I really like the idea of this because I like having car stuff like this, like car shirts and car different things to put on the walls and stuff like that, but I just don't have the time to go shopping for them. I know a lot of us are busy, and I am super busy with the channel and everything that I do here. So the ability to have some of this stuff shipped to my house without having to go through the hassle of shopping for it all is really, really cool. So I've actually signed up with my own personal money outside of this subscription deal and bought my own tuner crate for the year. So I'm pretty stoked on that because I really believe in this product. I think it's really cool. So yeah, Tuner Crate, very cool sponsor, cool guy that runs the company and owns the company as well. So thanks to Tuner Crate for sponsoring this episode. There's a link in the description if you guys would like to sign up. And if you use the code, there's a promo code for my viewers, BUILD20. So like B is for build, the build part, and 20, you'll get 20% off of your first crate, which is pretty cool deal. So thank you so much to Tuner Crate for sponsoring this episode. And now let's get into the game plan for this build. All right, welcome to Photoshop land. I can't draw, so I just decided to sketch everything out in Photoshop. This is kind of a little more photorealistic than it needs to be, but just try and take it as me sketching because I can't really sketch. But for some reason I had to turn the car to silver color because I thought that was important. If you guys want to learn how to do that in Photoshop, that's how you do that. So we got the front rammer bar that you're seeing there. That's like a bull bar that I'm kind of trying to build the outline. Also make it look almost a little bit more G35-y because, GTR-y, because I do like the look of that. So we're gonna have the front impact bar exposed, grills behind it, and then a bar rolling around. For the hood, I'm gonna steal, I'm blatantly ripping off Wrecked Lancer. He had the amazing idea of using the exoskeleton of the hood, like what's underneath the hood skin, as the exterior. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna skin the hood and hopefully it'll come out looking kind of cool like that. That was a brilliant idea. Headlights, we're gonna black out the headlights. I'm gonna pull the lenses off and we'll black out the headlights. Throw a couple grills in the front here. Send air to those big old front Brembos, and that should be kind of the front of it. Oh, except wide body, because we, wide body everything. So we will figure out some sort of a wide body solution. I just feel like apocalypse cars in the apocalypse will definitely all be wide body. I'm sure of that. Okay, moving on to the side. So with the side of this, I didn't even want to spend the time to try and make it even look kind of close to photorealistic because it's just a waste and it turned out looking really silly anyways. So what I did is I just decided to go with red lines. So this is kind of like a red line blueprint actually of what we're gonna do. So we need like a ducktail spoiler of some sort. So we'll build one of those out of a nice hefty piece of metal. Something that'll actually work too. Not that arrow is really gonna matter. Window louvers, because you gotta have window louvers. It's B is for build. I love those things. Wide body, like we talked about before, gotta have some sort of a wide body option. I have some Rocket Bunny parts lying around that I might use because it would save us a ton of time. It would hurt our budget, but it might be better than trying to build them ourselves. Some side skirts, we're gonna have side skirts that you can actually like stand on, so it'll be like a side ledge, and then a bar at the door so you could theoretically hang on, so somebody could hang on to the side of the car. Window bars that go over the window, and then a rear quarter glass cover, as well as the exoskeleton hood that I'm showing there, and then the blacked out headlight. So this is kind of acting as essentially a reminder for myself of like, here's all the stuff that we have to do, that I want to do to make this build look cool, and then everything else like that is optional. So you can see there's a lot of work to do, there's a lot of things to be done, but I do think it's all possible. All right, let's get started. All right, getting started, one of the last large mechanical things that I wanted to worry about was a limited slip differential. So I had to test what this car had, because like I said, these Infinities came a bunch of different models, different things. So as we move the wheel, you're gonna see that the other wheel is moving in the same direction. And that is a good sign. That means that we have a limited slip differential, so I don't have to pull the diff out and weld it. All right, moving right along, the next thing I want to test out and see how it's going to go is the wide bodiness. So 2-inch wheel spacers all around. These are going to add to the budget a little bit, and it's purely cosmetic. It'll actually make the car drive decently worse, but I really want to do it, so I'm going to do it. That's the style of this build. I can't use these anywhere else. I've actually had these forever because I was going to wide body the Mustang maybe at one point. Anyways, so since the car's up on this nice lift, I'm going to go ahead and swap these around and space everything out, and then lower it down on the ground and see how it looks. Well, in the apocalypse, wide body ain't going to be that wide. This car could have ran such wider wheels. So we did 2 inches on that. We did get a little bit of tire poke out. Yeah, at that point you could use a little bit of a extra kick in the body. But then in the front, you don't even need it. The wheel fits just fine with the extra 2 inches So we don't have it in the budget. Well, I mean, fine, relative term. We don't have it in the budget to buy wider wheels to really justify the wide body, so we're gonna have to get a little bit creative on how we do that. If I got the Rocket Bunny parts and I put them on there, I think what we would, well, I don't know. I'll just pull them out. I got them, they're in a box somewhere in the attic. I'll pull them down and we'll take a look. I thought this would look much more ridiculous than it does, but I can tell you from right here, it actually doesn't. Some of these things are sticking out because the tape can't hold them flat, but these are the ABS plastic ones, and if we actually riveted them onto the car, we would get that nice wide effect. The wheels do stick out, you know, enough to kind of make it look half decent. This is not, it's not that bad. I think it might be better than me fiddling around trying to weld a DIY fender flare. That could get very, very tricky. So I originally thought this was a silly idea, but I'm actually kind of warming up to the idea of potentially doing that. I'm gonna give it some time though, and work on something else and just keep thinking about it before we kind of jump into that part. The sun came out in a really nice way, so I'm going to take some time to work outside. So what we got to do with this hood is turn it into the exoskeleton and undo some of that, and then we got to figure out how to make those mounts and hinges work better. But the idea of the exoskeleton is that this metal under here has a lot more character to it and will look cooler probably. So I have to, you see where they're seam sealed together? These are probably like spot welded and seam sealed together. I have to undo all that, and so I can nicely separate this outside, or the inner skin, from the outside skin, and we're going to be keeping and using the inner skin.
So I choke you down just like a pill.
Okay, we got the exoskeleton out and it looks good, except for it's got chicken pox. It's got all this like lightweight rubber stuff. It's not too hardcore, like I can squish it with my fingers and you can kind of chunk it off. That connected this with the outer piece of the hood. And I definitely don't like the look of that. So got to figure out a way to kind of try and get that stuff off without making it look like we're trying to clean it up. So it's gonna be difficult. I don't know, I'm thinking like wire wheel or sandpaper on the grinding wheel, something like that. It's gonna take some time though.
Take you like a
All right, there we go. I stripped everything off and then I threw a little bit of paint on it. I wanted to save all the painting for tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but a couple days from now. But it had a lot of this really good dust on it. And so I wanted to paint that way when it kind of gets rubbed off, it'll kind of go, it'll make it look a little bit more rustic. So I got my best bud Jesse here helping me out. We're gonna keep working as fast as we can on this stuff. So now we're gonna do, instead of doing like mesh, like low, like really small hole mesh, I got the crazy steel graded stuff over there from the junkyard. We're gonna cut out templates of cardboard and then cut those out of that stuff, throw it on the inside of here, and once we have everything lined up, I'll go ahead and weld it all to the inside. It's gonna add a lot of structural rigidity to this. Not that it really matters because it's not doing anything, but it'll also look cool. So that's the point. Here we go. All right, things are coming along. We have our first middle piece ready to roll. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip this over and weld it in. Rules of the challenge are on this is I'm not really allowed to use tools that are like hard to find or worth much more than $100. So I'm not allowed to use my good welder. So I'm using my generic 15-year-old welder, but it still works. So we're gonna go ahead and flip this over. I'm gonna start welding that in, and Jesse's gonna keep cutting those side pieces out. All right, the Apocalypse hood is finished. So hood's aluminum. That's a welder that's meant to weld steel. You can't weld steel to aluminum, but I did somehow. So that just happened. It burned through in a lot of places, but that's okay. It just really adds to the look, and I think overall it looks really cool. So one piece down. That's awesome. All right, it's time to build our front bar thing and kind of retrofit this front bumper area. So if you remember in the picture, the bar kind of comes up to the hood line, so we need to know where the hood line is going to be. So we're going to take the hood, rest it on here, and then we'll get to work kind of removing what we need to from here and starting to weld this bar structure thing. All right, things are coming along great. What we did was we took the first two bends and we welded brackets to them. So these are gonna go up there like that. And then now we're gonna drill holes in the impact bar, and we're gonna be mounting all this stuff to the impact bar. It's not the best place in the world to mount it to, but it's also not the worst place in the world to mount it to. So it'll be nice and strong. And then we're gonna build this whole thing that we're doing off of these mounting points. So we're gonna get these in there, drill holes in the impact bar, mount them up, and then we can continue and build the whole rest of the frame. All right, it's really coming together. We got those plates on there. We made one mistake. We didn't really notice the angle in which this pipe's kind of sticking in, but we'll figure that out. Yeah, so now everything gets built off of here, so it's just a lot of cutting and welding to go. Here we are. We got kind of hosed by the rain, so we had to pull the cameras inside. I took Jesse out for a beer to thank him for all that hard work. But we got this together. It's looking great. There is a little bit, if we step real far back, sorry, I know it's hard to see, but that bar is a little bit higher than on that side. So I'm gonna come back in here and I'm gonna go ahead and grind off that weld eventually. Sorry, that weld right there. Slide that down a little bit and re-weld it. It's very strong. I can stand on it at any point, like standing on it right here. It's all good. So it's nice and strong, nice and sturdy. I just want to make that one adjustment because although it is an Apocalypse car, like things not being super symmetrical, that bugs me. So, but we got it. It's coming together. It's looking good. And now the hood's not on there how it's supposed to be, but that is quite a transformation for one day on this front end. I feel really good about that. All right, that's where I gotta end this episode. It's late and I'm freezing. I got all wet in the rain and I can't warm back up. If you guys remember in the beginning, I said we have today and 2 more days for fabrication, and I think for this first day that we are in a good spot. I don't think we're like ahead of schedule, but I don't think we're behind schedule. I definitely would have been behind schedule if my buddy Jesse didn't come help me out. He put in like a full 8-hour day, so thank you so much to Jesse for coming out. And I feel like we're in an okay spot. I feel like we're gonna hit the mark. Another big thanks to our sponsor. Tuner Crate was the sponsor for this episode. Huge thanks to them. Guys, remember there's a link in the description, and the promo code if you'd like to get 20% off your first crate is BUILD20. So go check that out. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like BS for Build, you like what we do, and you want to help out and support, head over to bsforbuild.com, scroll down to the shop, pick yourself up a hat or maybe a key tag. We got new key tags right here. We got the new Built Not Bought key tags and all sorts of other good stuff on there. And all the proceeds of that go directly towards supporting these builds. So thank you guys all so much that have already done that. And if you want to find us in more places, we are BS for Build on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, all that good stuff. Go follow us there. You get some behind the scenes action. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please remember to like and subscribe. Peace!